Like 6.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, ooh.
So 10 on the outside maybe, and 4 at the beach and 6 in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. We have 3.6 and an 890 high aspect V-tail stand-up board. Let's see if we can get up. Yeah.
Get up in this.
All right, so what have I done to help me get up? Foil all the way forward in the boxes. It will reduce the amount of water getting into the actual hole in the box, as well as kind of lift your whole board up at once. It usually helps me get up quite a bit. The other thing is I pump my wing up pretty hard. What does this one say? It's like 6 to 9 psi. I pump it up to like 10, just to get that little bit extra stiffness and not lose so much power through my pumps. Right now I'm just gonna sail out up to a little bit past this jetty and hope for one of those maybe 6-knot gusts. I think I can stay up once I'm up. Feels like there's enough wind. I'm riding, yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I'm riding a 890 high aspect. This is the one I made for Jason Bolikow. It's like a wing slash surf foil, and it has really good low end and really good turning, but I do sacrifice a little bit of top end and a little bit of efficiency just because the span isn't that wide. Yeah. One thing I like to do when I'm going out, is try and use the mast of my foil as a dagger board to keep myself upwind. And it's the same thing when I'm pumping up onto foil. I'll kind of push sideways against the mast to try and get a little bit extra pump and a little bit extra forward speed out of it. So it looks like the wind out here is a little bit better. Yeah. Feels doable. Notice how this board's pretty unstable and it doesn't have enough nose rocker, so I have to stand far back and keep the nose out. If I push the nose under, it wants to steer the opposite way, like that, and throw me right off the board. All right, so I'm better getting up on my natural stance. Gonna jibe around and sit here, wait for a gust. And I like to, there's some little waves, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some little energy coming through. I also like to try and time that. It makes a big difference. Hopefully there's not so much hair on the camera right now. I'm getting hair in my face. All right, so I see a gust coming down. I'm just gonna kind of stall the board. Make sure I'm in the right position for it, and feel it filling the sail. Attempt number 1, failure. I need to point a little higher to the wind, closer to the wind. Whew. My dad's up, he's on a 5.0 SIC board with a modified tail kick. 175 Ono foil Swift, 90 centimeter mast, and a short fuselage, that 15-inch tail. And the sail is a Reedin 5-meter. So pre-production, so same as the production one, but just no logos. It's taking a bit of effort, but with enough pumping, you can get up and drive away from shore. I think now that I'm up, I can stay up with the generated apparent wind. line though. Do a little couple maintenance pumps in the lulls. Keep my foil nice and high out of the water. You want to keep your front wing as near to the surface as possible to try and reduce that drag from your mast. Here I'm in a lull, doing a couple pumps. And yeah, that's how you get up in light wind. Be a lot easier with the bigger sail for sure. And as far as once I'm up on foil, angle you sail at to the wind is super important, and keeping your sail vertical so it generates forward drive is also really important. Keep it vertical and close to the water surface, and let the foil do all the lifting. I'm probably doing maybe 14 miles an hour right now, which is right around the peak efficiency of this front wing. It's like 14 to 16. And so I'm probably not gonna go much faster than that in light wind. I do have this tail on here that noticeably increases the low end. And that's probably what got me up, I'm gonna be honest. But looks like as we're getting away from the wall, getting away from the rest of the harbor there, the wind's getting a lot better. I actually feel pretty comfortably powered. And we're sailing, it's hard, I can't really see any ripples on the water, but it feels like we're sailing upwind, as far as I can tell. This is a low, but still upwind angle. So now, hitting the other side, I'm gonna try and find a puff to tack in, but I don't see one coming, so I will drive around. Make your drives quick and come in with a lot of speed. Come out of them high as you can get. That'll just want to keep your gravitational energy through the jibe. And I'm kind of doing like real slow pumps here. Here's a turtle. What I notice is with most wings, especially when you're in light wind like this, as you load them up, they stall. So slowly stall, reset. I can feel it slowly losing power, and I just have to back off for a second and reset. It ends up in this kind of slow pumping motion. But yeah, up on a small foil in light wind. I was just talking to Giampaolo on the beach. He was testing a couple boards out today. We were talking about what makes the most difference while in getting up in light wind. And I kind of think shape of the board is most important. And obviously technique's really important, but given a set technique, shape of the board, then volume of the board, you need enough volume, or low enough wetted surface area. You don't want your feet dragging through the water as you get up. You need enough power. If you have enough power, you need a really efficient foil. Getting up, if you have the right board, isn't the hardest part. For me, at least, it's staying up that's the hard part. So even though I'm up, I'm struggling to stay up because I'm not making much upwind progress. This Reedin is a pretty high aspect ratio sail. It has a wide wingspan. Oh, there's some fish. And a pretty good power, especially at high speed for the size. Let's go for a tack here. Good thing is in light wind, you don't lose any speed on tacks, where in heavy wind, yeah, you tend to kind of stop as soon as you point into the wind. I'm staying on my toe side here, even though I'm probably not pointing as far upwind as I could be. It's more of a survival tactic for staying up in the lulls. If I need to suddenly pump or something, I'm a lot more effective and a lot more efficient on my toe side than I am on my heels, so on my bad side, my goofy foot. If I had a little more power, moving the sail down, trying to inflate that wingtip to the water surface, that I notice gives you a noticeable decrease in drag. Here's a good gust. Every gust, I'm trying to make my way upwind. Point a couple degrees higher. What's cool? The harbor's cool because you can use these buoys as progress markers. So I was nowhere near this buoy on the last tack. Looks like this way is a little bit better than our last run. If I had a little bit lower drag foil, I could be doing a higher speed and generating a more apparent wind, and this sail would probably be working a little better. You can get up in really light wind with a big foil, and if you're having trouble getting up, it's what you need. You would pair a big foil with a big wing, but if you can get up easy, it really pays off to use a small foil because of the extra speed and apparent wind you generate. The higher my average speed is, the more power I get out of the sail. And we're jibe. There's no gust over here. I do lose some progress upwind, maybe about 10 or 15 feet, but it stops me from coming down and losing 50 to 100. The next gust, I'm gonna try bending down a little bit, maybe try and reduce the drag of my body, get the sail closer to the water. This is nice upwind, especially when it's a little windier than this. I usually gain maybe a knot or two in boat speed or foil speed, and maybe a degree or two upwind. It's a pretty effective technique. It's just you can get a little out of control sometimes. A couple pumps, we're in a lull. I want to stay high on the foil. I want to stay in that peak efficiency of my foil and keep my apparent wind up. Here's a good gust. This one's maybe reaching 8 or 9 knots. So every once in a while we'll get a good one. And you can come a little higher upwind. See how vertical I'm holding the sail. This really helps you generate power. I'm gonna go for a tack here. This one's a little sketch. There's no gust right now, but if you're confident, you can pump out of it and kind of do a maintenance pump until you're back in the wind. So I got a lot of questions about how you pump the sail in light wind. Generally, the two most effective ways I found are either fast tap with your backhand. That works. I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of power through the sail, but especially getting up, it does something with your lower body that helps get the foil up and helps unstick you from the water. Once I'm up, I like to kind of pull it at a 45-degree angle forwards and towards me. It kind of moves like moving your hands in a circle in front of you. It's better than pulling straight because it doesn't stall the sail as easily. When you're underpowered, it's easy to overload your wing and create a ton of drag instead of the forward thrust you're looking for. It's really light right now. There's really almost no texture on the water. It'd be a great day for foil surfing. You can see that tack got us 100 feet upwind. So we're still making progress, even though it's hard. Here I'm riding a little wave. There's some onshore waves here, or remnants of swell. Remnants probably the wind of yesterday or last night. Another jibe because there isn't any wind. And I guess I should go in. I'll try and mess with a few things on the board, maybe swap front wings and see. I'll try swapping to a faster, more efficient front wing and see if we can get that up. If I can get that up, my guess is either I'll have too close of an apparent wind angle for my sail, so the sail's not efficient enough for it, or we're gonna generate enough apparent wind, my sail is efficient enough, and we'll be comfortably flying. So yeah, I really love light wind. It's like the best test of your gear, best test of downwind boards, because you can consistently try and unstick it from the water. It's the best test of the efficiency of your sails and the efficiency of your foils and how well you know the gear. I do like it a little windier than this though. If it's a little windier, you can start doing upwind runs because there's so little load on your body. You can just go forever. I wonder, let's see if I point down a little bit, get some pumps to go faster. Now I'm a lot more comfortable generating more apparent wind, but definitely not making progress upwind. At low speeds, it helps to point back upwind, just because you're going against it, you're generating that apparent wind. If you have a gust, bear off a little bit, help the sail gain some speed. Wind lightens up, and you point back up. It's a lot like sailing a dinghy downwind, spinnaker. Here's a good gust. So yeah, that is my light wind technique, the gear I ride, conditions, and some strategies for staying up. Thank you.